Leaders don't need to create these venues for communication. Right now, if you're a leader, if you're managing a team or a business, you should be asking, what can I do so I can inject frequent venues? Because nobody will take the lead. Sometimes nobody will take the initiative because everybody depends on that spontaneous, sudden interaction before. Can't have that anymore. How do we address that loneliness? We are introducing this phrase TE or TE squared, so that, you know, we love jargons in my team in LJMB because it helps facilitate communication. So whenever we talk of team engagement and team effectiveness, we are using this TE squared. Team engagement and effectiveness is more critical in this remote virtual setup. There are 3 reasons, color-coded. You can now see them: continuing war on talent, engagement levels are down during this pandemic, and team dynamics and relationships are impacted. So let's talk about number 1. It's critical to sustain and even boost team engagement and effectiveness because of the continuing war on talent. I had this misconception in March, preparing for my webinars. I was preparing for a course on boosting motivation. And I told myself, I'm sure people are not leaving because it's pandemic, it's crisis time. You will prioritize your job security. So the companies laying off employees, people would want to stay in their companies. I was proven wrong, happy to be proven wrong by our clients. As I spoke with heads of HR and heads of business units, they said that attrition is even rising, or they're losing people even during this lockdown and the pandemic. How did they go and apply? Virtual recruitment, virtual screening, virtual application, virtual panel interviews. And according to some of our clients, it's even perhaps the best time to leave. Why? Because this pandemic has actually made you realize a lot of things. You're correct, Jenson. Even trainings are now 100% virtual. So all facets of HR and even other facets of whatever you're doing, whether you're talking about marketing, you come from QA, you have to find a way to transition that into digital exercise. People are leaving and companies are continuing to be on the lookout for talent. You know why? Because companies are letting go of people in this time, not because of performance issues, but because of budget and cost savings. And sometimes it's not always performance based or last in, first out. So there can be a lot of talents out there in the market. So if you're part of recruitment and talent acquisition, I'm sure you're having a great day. And you see in LinkedIn or in Facebook posting, I need a job, I just lost mine, here's my resume, here's my CV. Yep, it's reality. What you see here is reality. It's even the best time to have a career change because everything that happened here may have led us to reflecting, what do I really want to do? What's my priority? What matters most? And people will just awaken one day and say, I wanted to pursue this. Some even left their employment for business. I like it now that people are now engaging each other. My friend from LinkedIn, Coach Raymond Victorino, said people who didn't feel their employer's compassion decided to leave. Perfect. These people who said, is that how you care about people? I'm out of here because it may happen to me one day. Reason number 2. Engagement levels are down. We just did a poll earlier. You supported that, close to 50 people. Okay? And yes, engagement levels and something is really impacting on our people's ability to focus. A lot is happening out there. It may happen to them, or it may happen to their friends or outside the industry, or they read the news, or they see social media. Some people don't have that strong barrier around them or that shield to protect them from the negative influences of reading posts, and they get affected too. Sometimes when a company would lay off people or would reduce the workforce, it is not those who leave, but those who stay that gets affected emotionally. Yes? And thank you, Mausi, for saying even for industries like healthcare, wherein we're allowed to work 100% capacity, continuous skeletal schedule. Mausi is one of my friends based in Cebu. Hats off to you and your kind, the frontliners, the heroes who really risk themselves day in, day out. Wow. Thank you. And yes, work from home, not possible in your case. So you're also hit in terms of engagement. The DUA that I would frequently share in my webinars, the effect of COVID, nobody's ready, nobody's expecting this, and nobody's exempted. We got disrupted, lots of questions, and because our questions are not answered, added to that the fear, the worries of what will happen in my future. My company, zero sales in March, all of our bookings wiped out, sleepless nights once more, thinking we have savings, but I can't sustain my team of 16 if it goes forever. So you have to really tell my team, this is what we're going to do. But what if you don't have those answers? Anxiety is what happens. Thank you, my friend Alvin, who said a lot of employees in your company are asking if they still have work after this pandemic. It's really a question of resiliency, and company resiliency is basically cash flow and resources and efficiency. Let's now move on to how other people have successfully found ways to deal with anxiety and uncertainty. Look at Paula, a manager from Lazada, and 28 years old, but very hungry for learning. So the key message here is you also have it in your hands to find the solution to your uncertainty and anxiety. Okay? And I also chanced upon an HR manager in a global company who discovered that for her to be temporarily distracted, she would bake goodies, she would bake cakes. And then because of that, she practiced her talent and found out I can do something about this. Those are her 5 lessons. With permission, I asked her if I can take a screenshot of this in LinkedIn, and she started the business already. Look at that. Indeed, some people will rise to this occasion, but what about our other team members? And as a team leader, it's on our shoulders to really help those who would need most help during these tough times. Number 3, team dynamics are definitely impacted. In this study, the 2020 state of remote work, take a look at the top 2 struggles of people who are working remotely. Okay? And I like it that people are continuing to share inputs here for our heads. Their concerns are 1 and 2. They do their best so our employees will only have to deal with number 3, the anxiety. Thank you. Coach VB from LinkedIn. Please connect with her in LinkedIn. My experience is a bit different. We've grown 3 times during this pandemic. Fortunate that some businesses really boomed during this pandemic. Maybe you're part of healthcare or you produce critical supplies, or you're in the business of coaching and providing counseling. Similar to one of my friends who owns a counseling business. She said demand tripled because people want somebody to talk to. Look at that. People want somebody to talk to. People are looking for coaches and mentors and just somebody to hear them out. Why can't it be you? Why can't it be the team leader? Why? Because maybe you're so swamped with work too. And look at the top 2 struggles of working remotely: collaboration and communication, and same number of 20%, loneliness. Like I'm all alone here from where I'm broadcasting. If I won't go out, I won't have social interaction. But I have to quickly adapt here, just looking at the camera and really imagining and visualizing I'm connecting with each one of you. 100 plus of you. I think we have 150. And Purge, my friend from a previous company who is also leading Another service center is saying why it's important to help our employees to thrive and make them successful, leading with empathy. Okay? And my newly found friend as well in LinkedIn, we thrive in tribes. Human beings desire connection. But how can we provide that sense of connection while we're alone in a room and we are in a virtual meeting? Thank you. Keep them coming. Proud to really present my teammates in LJMB prior to this lockdown, pre-COVID days. You see, a team of 17, including me. You can see portions of our office there. We have structured meetings happening on a regular basis. I'm a fan of over communication, and I'm a very inclusive leader. I want to really include people in whatever it is that we're doing. I love taking photos whenever I see teams in action. So those were a collection of everything. We also love to eat, by the way. I love to eat, and I love to eat where we can sit down and have a good talk. And of course, my employees love that because I would end up paying the bills. And when I say, tara, kain tayo, no? So we'll just go down. We are offices based in Makati, and there are lots of places to go to. But that tara, kain tayo, how can we do that now? How can we find a replacement? We also have a lot of frequent on the spot. Look at that. We just go out and eat sometimes in Jolly Jeep, no? Not in fine dining. Sometimes in fine dining restaurants, but sometimes lika milk tea tayo. Let's go to Starbucks and enjoy coffee one-on-ones. Yes, Rosh, those were the days. But now entering a new normal. Correct? You missed the classroom training setup, Jensen. Yes, I know you're missing something. It's very easy before. You don't have to structure social interaction. People bump each other along the corridors. You see each other in the pantry or in the water cooler. Musta? And now, that now sparks a lot of conversation. Before, leaders don't need to create these venues for communication. Right now, if you're a leader, if you're managing a team or a business, you should be asking, what can I do so I can inject frequent venues? Because nobody will take the lead. Sometimes nobody will take the initiative because everybody depends on that spontaneous, sudden interaction before. Can't have that anymore. How do we address that loneliness? Yes. Even in training, before you have a classmate, you will talk to your classmate, you'll ask a question. We laugh. When the trainer cracks a joke, everybody laughs, everybody feels good. Now, maybe I'm the only one laughing at my jokes in this virtual training. Yes. And it's good if I can see videos at times because I can see people smiling. Yep. These days are gone. These pictures are gone. And add to that, my dear friends, the challenge. I will add to this the challenge of the following. Possible misinterpretation. These are screenshots of actual Viber communication in my team. Somebody said, you need to finish the report. It can have a negative impact. And while the person has emojis and a thumbs up signal, you need to finish the report in all caps. There might be that possible misinterpretation. Somebody sent a message 2:45, replied at the 7:33. There can that be that in misinterpretation. This person's slacking off. This person's not so responsive. This person must be doing something. Oh yes, my friend Christine. It's hard to be an extrovert during this pandemic. So far, so good, guys. I'm really talking at a fast pace. I'm so excited here, full of excited. So far, so good. I'll keep this pace. If it's okay with you, chat with me. So far, so good. If it's so far, so good, come on. So far, so good. Let me know. Let me know. So far, so good. So far, okay. Perfect. Okay, so far, so good. Conscious of the time with 19 minutes to go. And look at that. The miscommunication, the body language. As I would say in coaching in virtual times, your facial expression gets to be magnified. So whatever facial expression you give here gets magnified. It's actually 80%, 90% of the person's screen. So be mindful of our body language when we address teams. Okay? Or maybe some people are not even looking at the camera. Maybe some leaders are even looking at the wall or at the ceiling when they're thinking. Be present with people whom you are with. Conflict, an actual Viber conversation. Somebody, I'm the one who asked, Musta, busy ka na daw, sabi ni. And I'm addressing somebody who told me, this person's not responding. And as a leader, I have to intervene. And what's the problem there? It's not being able to share the right medium, preferred medium of communication. Somebody wants to Viber, somebody prefers communicating through SMS. So that's already a disconnect. My dear friends, reality, challenges of people in this virtual environment. Oli, let's present our next poll question. Next poll question for the team, for the class is, which of the three reasons can you relate to most? Which of the three reasons can you relate to continuing war on talent? Did you just lose a team member to a competitor or to another company? Or team engagement go down? Or there's misinterpretation, there's conflict, maybe two people quarreled, had a misunderstanding, or somebody will report to you or escalate somebody to you. Wow, the numbers are now moving. Majority would say team dynamics. If you're not in recruitment or if you're not a business leader who's losing people, I understand why we only have 7 being able to relate to continuing war on talent the most. Okay? There's also a huge difference in mistyping have not instead of have now. Okay, perfect, LC. Biggest chunk in communication is body language. We need special training, my dear friends, on how to control and manage our body language over this virtual presentation. Not looking at the slide when you're coaching, especially if it's a sensitive conversation. Okay? So we now have the final pulse of the group. 60% saying team dynamics. And second is team engagement, 32%. Now, with these 3 reasons, how do we now address that? The secrets are in the individual leader behavior and also organization-wide effort. I may shoot a video of me expanding on this leader behavior that I would always promote. I am a fan of ABBA. I picked up ABBA in the pharma industry, acknowledging my friend Ging Roslin. Ging, if you're here, or even if you're not here, Ging Roslin introduced me to ABBA. You know, in pharma, in shelves in drugstores, you need to have your product A, available, not out of stock. V, visible. I level. A, accessible, within the reach of customer.
Available, visible.
If we can apply that to our leadership behavior, AVA, wow, we will be able to hurdle this virtual barrier or the barrier of not having in-person interaction. Some of you who've attended my previous webinars have already heard of ABBA. I will repeat, ABBA. ABBA is available, visible. I have to tweak the last one because you're not a product. It's attention or being attentive and approachability. What I do when I wake up in the morning, first thing I do after I stand is to go online. Before I even do anything else, I want to communicate to my team. I would even greet them, good morning. It means Louie's up. Ask him questions that we need. What help do you need? I'm here. I'm online when people are. I'm even online as late as 12 midnight telling my teams, especially for those who are working late on projects, I'm just here, ask a question. No scene zone. No scene zone from leaders, especially during this virtual environment. When we talk about visibility, what are my bullets in visibility? Be comfortable showing your face through video. I still get into a lot of client meetings where leaders don't show themselves on video. What's the purpose of the video? Except when our concerns is internet connection or bandwidth, especially if you have a big team meeting. But for one-on-ones or small team meetings, your face may be the first positive face, first smiling face that they will see that will set the tone for the day. Yes, smile. Even if the previous meeting is tense, it didn't go well, don't carry over that feeling in your next meeting. And as far as attentiveness and approachability is concerned, you might be available, you're online, you show your face or in video, but you always intimidate people. Beware of how you impact people. Because if you show me this intimidating eye expression, well, it's better that we just speak over the phone. You should also be aware of how you impact on people. And if you can't control it, better talk to people using an audio call, because that additional body language, your intimidating face can elicit fear and can affect your conversation as you go along. So, attentiveness and approachability, still using positive words, positive voice. You know, when I get excited, my voice, according to my teammates, would send that feeling that I'm scolding them or reprimanding them. Seems like I'm still training people in coaching, and I have to bear that in mind. The second leader behavior that I'd like to promote would be creating team norms. Make sure that you meet with your teams. It's not too late. It's better done during the start of the lockdown, but because of this extended work from home setup, leading teams based on team norms. Thank you, Ollie, for flashing our next poll, your biggest area for improvement of the three. Wow. People need to improve, leaders need to improve in terms of attention. You're available, but you're multitasking. Or you're not approachable. You might be rude or turning off people with your voice, with your body language, with your jokes. Thank you. The leading answer is now attention and approachability. Okay, the numbers are still moving, but we have a winner here. Okay. Yes, scene zoning breeds uncertainty. Why is my boss not replying? Thank you, Rosh. Uncertainty breeds fear or paranoia. Why? Why? What's up? This person, did I say something in the previous conversation? You know, it adds to that uncertainty and anxiety. You're correct. The last 5 minutes would be organization-wide effort. You may have seen something like this: town hall meetings, as big as 100, 200, global town hall meetings being done here. Global events. One of my clients would have a concert for their employees done virtually. Some would even have their second half of the year kick-off celebrations virtually. I know of sales teams which would have their mid-year conferences done virtually. Dear friends, my question now is, what about our favorite team building programs? Favorite team building programs. I'm sure that one way or another you participated in a team building this 2020 or in the last 12 months. I can bet that you participated in an informal or a formal structured team building in the past 12 months. What will happen to team buildings now? Okay. Ollie, our next poll question, please. In the past 10 weeks, have you personally facilitated or have you participated in a team building delivered virtually? The numbers are now going up. Okay. Some people are saying no, some people are saying yes. I think 1/3 is saying yes, 2/3 are saying no. May said yes, we have team buildings in the company. LJMB's second blockbuster program. Our first is leadership development. Our second blockbuster program would be team buildings, where we use a lot of physical exercises. No touch now. How can you do team buildings with that 6 feet, 1 meter social distancing? The tribe has spoken. Rosh, picking up that tribe thing from you. The tribe here has spoken. 2/3 are saying, I have not facilitated nor participated in team building activities delivered virtually. How are we addressing the loneliness? How are we addressing the need for collaboration? If you're part of the 33, lucky you. So let me give some tips that maybe the 33% have already utilized, that the 67 may bring to your respective teams. Before, these are LJMB photos. Those are our activities. You can see the hula hoop hurdle. I was on stage. I was really rallying 600 people in Marquee. That's a venue in BGC. We use Pinoy Henyo. There is a dress up your leader. There's a flag ceremony exercise. There's an interview your peers. There's a shoot that ball. How can we be creative now and still have similar exercises with the same impact? We have outdoor exercises. I'm sure that you have done a version of this one way or another. In fact, a week before the lockdown started, I was even facilitating that picture on the lower left where I am in a military uniform. I was rallying the team because their team is military. War for dominance. How can we do that now? It's possible to transform, translate, be creative, game nights, all of these things we've done in LJMB. Somebody tweaked activities of a game and we did it in Google Hangouts. We would use Zoom and we would have LJMB goes to the beach with our favorite beach at the background, sipping piña colada or your favorite shake and you are in your Hawaiian attire. I borrowed this from Tescalas and the Acquire BPO folks. Maybe you're part of this photo somewhere here. They have their floral themed meetings. Yes, something to spice up meetings. We would have LJMB lunch hours. We would bring our lunch food and then be part of the team, see each other eating lunch, and we will ask strategic questions for getting to know or be able to relieve people of the loneliness. We'll ask, how are you? Things that you are missing, your plans after this pandemic. I like it, Maritel, that you mentioned video via Zoom, Jensen, virtual Zumba. Look at that, virtual yoga, virtual Zumba, inuman sessions. Be careful what you drink, yes? And you can have a movie night organized. My dear friends, loneliness and collaboration, this could be the start. Ray, thank you for being here. Bingo, virtual bingo, Ray. In our case, we have a guess who. We would get trivia from different people and we would post that, put that here, maybe put that on a slide and we will guess. It's a fun way of guessing who used to repair mobile phones and gadgets, who's ambidextrous, who's afraid of heights. While you can Google some ideas, I suggest that you also think of what's best for your team. We can have a virtual bring me game. That's a fun game to do. Virtual bring me, because sky's the limit as to the number of items and objects that are available at home. Kahoots, we're planning to do Kahoots earlier, but our license is limited to a few people. Virtual charades. Thank you, being very active here. Lots of ideas. My purpose here is not to feature 101 ideas, but to inspire each one of you. 67% saying we haven't done anything like this. And it will just take 5 minutes or 10 minutes to start a meeting or to end the meeting. Do what LJMB team is doing. End of week, weekender from 5 to 7 or 6 to 7 or sometimes after dinner, 8 to 9, team activity, we would do our connecting activities. Modified game ka na ba? I like it. Where in the world, Billy? Sky's the limit as to the ideas. But please do it frequently, do it strategically, do it regularly, and be inclusive. Make sure everybody's participating. Now, here's the thing, guys. I was wondering, how can we help companies? I'd like to now formally launch this idea to all of you. We launched LJMB online platform 3 weeks ago. We launched webinars starting April. Watch out for our virtual team building platform where you and your teams will enroll and you will register and choose activities that you can do as a team. Our activities in person, we will tweak them, find a way to put them here and come up with lots of ideas. Coming up soon.
Please.
Checking how many of you will be interested. Who would want to join and enroll in our virtual team building platform? Who among you? Say yes or me. Say me if you want to explore this. We may even invite you to do a pilot. So for those who are saying me, Oli, Please don't shut this down later immediately. Let's get the names of people who are saying me. Let's have them pilot test our virtual team building platform. Oh my God, it's really heartwarming. I'm so touched by all of the me's that I'm having here. Will reach out to you and pilot this virtual team building platform. Oh my, I could cry. Wow, really so fulfilled that you spent time with me this afternoon. And in my closing, team leaders, team managers, team engagement, and team effectiveness. People are lonely. People might be quarreling or having miscommunication issues. Please do something about it now with the ideas that you got today, and watch out for our LJMB team building platform.